Hello everybody and welcome back to another cast of Dota 2. I'm back once again doing more casts of Dota 2 because you know what? I enjoy them, and a couple of you out there seem to enjoy them as well, despite the fact that I'm the world's worst caster and not very good at this in general, but we're just here for some fun times and some fun Dota action. Unfortunately, this time I'm here all by myself. Tried to get in contact with my friend Balluno, but he's being a bit of a ding-dong and it's not picking up or anything like that, but we're gonna have, good old game here anyways. Fun Heroes being banned so far. I don't know why they chose Night Stalker for a ban. Personally, I think he is kind of one of the worst heroes in the game. Honestly, in my opinion, I would even go as far as to say garbage tier, because really, he does not provide very much. He's only good at night, at least in my opinion. His moveset is good. Although a solid stun rather than a mini stun would provide that character so much more. But the silence is nice as well. Like, he's good on paper, but he just does not carry out well at all. Because the thing is, he's really, really weak during the day, and at night, at best, he's kind of just as good as any other carry in the game, not any better. So really, by picking him, you don't really get any benefits that you would from a lot of other carries in the game, at least in my opinion. I think the bans, of course, actually, Omni Knight is a really big ban because I think he is very, very strong in this game and has been very, very strong, like top tier, at least in regards to supports for a very, very long time now. But then regarding the carries, I think the Brewmaster and the Ember Spirit are much smarter on the Radiant team. Unfortunately, excuse me, the Radiant team, once again, doesn't have a name. I always find these teams where, like, one person has a logo and, like, a team name, and then the other one just doesn't have anything. They don't have a little picture there, they don't have a logo. It always makes me so sad, because I want to compare the two teams based on their names and be like, oh, MXTZ.co against the, Buttfuckers Rejoice. Oh, this will be a grand team, seeing, who will win. And, which one has, like, the funnier logo or something like that. I actually have, I'm a big fan of a, Let's Player, or YouTuber, I guess I should just say, named Alpaca Patrol. And there was one team where, one game where one team had, Woody the Cowboy as one of their logos, and I thought that was freaking hilarious. I want to see some of that stuff here, but unfortunately, we're probably not going to get much of any of that nonsense. So, let's go ahead and actually talk about the picks rather than the bans, of course, here. Disruptor is actually one of my favorite supports in the game, but what he definitely relies on is a really, really good team comp, at least in my opinion. If you get a good team, if you get a team that focuses very, very heavily on team fights rather than, like, assassinations or lane pushing, then Disruptor is going to be your man. So he's a really strong hero, at least in my opinion, but he might have been a little bit of a weak choice at the beginning because he's a support that I really feel tells your opponent team what you're going to be doing. So if you pick him first off, the enemy team that you should know right off the bat that they're going to be focusing much, much more on the team fights. And actually they end up taking a bounty hunter, which is quite counter to the team fight's potential. But I also think Silencer was a good pick to go ahead and fight the Disruptor, because then we've got, at least when any big team fights go down, silence on silence, which is a good way to stop that. A lot of supports being picked on the entire team as well. They're going for 3 supports. I wonder if Tidehunter's actually going to go solo top? Go ahead and farm himself some good farm up there. I imagine he probably won't, though, seeing as there are 2 other supports. Probably gonna be a case scenario where there's going to be probably a case scenario where he's not going to be solo. I'm trying to say. But I might be wrong about that. Like I said, I'm not the most well-educated caster that there is in the world, to say the least. So, Razor also an interesting pick. I don't play Razor enough. I need to play him a lot more because he's a very interesting hero. Also a very, very frustrating one to play against. I would actually say one of the most frustrating in the entire game. Like the 3 most frustrating to play against for me. Well, Silencer's up there too. I don't know, but Razor's one of them. Bane is one of them for sure. And then last but not least is Necrophos, because I really hate the characters that kind of like deny you from being able to play. They're basically the, oh, nope, you're not playing this game characters. Like, the reason why Bane's like that is because he has 2 moves that basically force your character just to stand there, being able to do absolutely nothing. One being his Fiend's Grip, and then the other one being his, Enfeeble? Is that what it's called? Is that even what it is? No, that's not it. It must be Nightmare. Yeah, okay, never mind. It's Nightmare instead. Bane is another character who I don't play nearly enough. Nagasiren as well. Basically, the Radiant team is, not stun central, because it's not really a stun, but, like, freeze your enemies central, kind of like what Yule Scepter does and all that jazz. So, of course, this is looking to be a pretty interesting game, to say the least, so far. I'm not really sure who's going to go mid on the Radiant team. On the Dire, I would probably say without a doubt it's going to be the Razor, but who knows? I might be wrong. I'm a sucky-wucky caster, to say the least. But who cares about all that? I'm guessing the Nagasiren. I mean, I'm pretty sure it has to be the Nagasiren, but it wouldn't surprise me all that much if it actually ends up being the, go to, oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, I apologize about what happened there. My cat is chilling in my room by my cute little kitty Chekhov, and I also have a keyboard piano, and I'm pretty sure she just almost knocked it to the floor, because it just has this little stand that it sticks on. Okay, the silencer is going mid. That makes a lot more sense. I should have, presumed that. Knew it had to be the Nagasiren or the, silencer, but of course, good to see that they've made their choice and made it well. But anyways, my cat is like the most clumsy cat in the world, so I'm glad that nothing bad came of that. But let's go ahead and introduce the teams. On the Whistling Man is the Bounty Hunter, Doug Dimmadome? Doug Dimmadome. That is a really great name. Doug Dimmadome is playing the Silencer. On the Sand King, down below and bottom, we have Carl. Nice and easy name. Carl! That kills people! Thanks. Carl, don't do that. We've got Skull on Bane, as I said, like one of my least favorite heroes in the game, because he is so freaking annoying to play against. Only one on the Nagasiren, then on Sven, Bex, MXTZ.co, Oh, of course, they all have their team name in the second half of their name. I think one of them wasn't part of the team, though, if I am correct. Yeah, this guy, Turkish. Apparently he's not a team player. Or maybe, who knows, maybe he's part of the team and he just hates the name, because, I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of MXTZ.co. Kind of weird of a name in my opinion. I apologize for the pause at the start of the game. Hopefully they'll get started before too long, but of course that is completely out of my control. Oh, wonderful, the Nagasiren DC'd. Okay. Well, if that continues for much longer, either I'll go ahead and cut that out, or maybe find another game. I don't know, but whatever. We've got Bex on the Sven. We've got Bind on the Disruptor, and he's actually got that really, really cool new skin. Is there, how do I zoom in on these guys when I'm casting a game? Oh, I don't have any idea how I want to do it. Oh, I click the, yeah, that's right. I could just click the little go away thing. No, I can't click that. That sucks, because this is actually my favorite Disruptor skin in the game. It looks really, really cool because he has this weird, like, kind of fairy dragon creature that Disruptor rides instead. King Snake is on the oh my god, how am I blanking on that character's name? Jakiro! One of my favorites. That is horrible of me. Then we have Turkish on the Razor, and last but not least, Big Boss, who just put down the Sentry of the Year on the Bomb Bush, and he is playing the Tidehunter as well. Nice little skin on that, on him as well. Oh, he's got the weird little, like, shovel change of weapon. I prefer the fish, but you know what, that's cool and fine and dandy for him. He's actually got a flag, which is a nice change as well. Bounty Hunter took some early pain, but he should be able to stand through that relatively well. Bounty Hunter against a potential... No, what looks like it's certainly actually going to be a tri-lane top. Sucks for him because, obviously he is probably not going to be able to get much of any farm. Although if there's any hero that, of the squishier heroes in the game, if there's anyone who would stand a chance with getting farm in a tri-lane, that would probably, almost certainly be the Bounty Hunter for sure. And levels on Bounty Hunter are significantly important, so he should have, some fun times around with that. So let's pull up the last hit tonight. Also, this, it's kind of funny because this reminds me of the last cast that I did before where it was a tri-lane with a Sven, free farming up top against a puck, and the Sven completely dominated and ended up, doing a huge part in winning the game for his team and all that. Also, Razor, obviously it's a bit early to call, but Razor doing a bit of the job out farming the silencer, but like I said, just like, it's 1 minute in the game, so there isn't really any call for who is out farming who and what. I can't believe I didn't consider a tri-lane going up there. I really should have, because Tidehunter solo lane, I don't know why I said he would go top, because of course since he was on the Dire team he would instead go bot. Tidehunter solo lane is so freaking powerful, so sucks that he's not going to be getting much gold, but I actually think he's in a better position than the Bounty Hunter, because levels are very, very strong on both. I mean, getting a lot of levels is very, very powerful on both of those heroes, but I think the levels are going to be a bit more important. Well, no, I think they're equally important for the Bounty Hunter and the Tide. But the thing about the Tide is he won't need free farm or gold as much as the Bounty Hunter will. And then on top of that, we actually have a smoke of deceit coming out on here. For an attack in mid lane, Silencer does not really have any method of escape, but he's got a little bit of spider senses coming out on him because he is backing out perfectly okay without putting himself into too much danger. He's even actually going to get harassed by the Razor with his static link. I knew it was called link. I forgot about the static part though. So these heroes are just gonna kind of chill there. That sucks. That's allowing the Bounty Hunter to have a much easier time with his farming and all that. Sand King is gonna go ahead and try to use his channel on these mud golems, but apparently Carl here is not aware that there's magic immunity. I don't know what was up with that. Maybe he was doing something that I don't fully understand, but I'm pretty sure he was just trying to farm the jungle and does not. Yeah, he totally. Oh no, of course, he was trying to stack the lanes. Duh, that's the much smarter thing. Apparently Carl is not aware that mud golems have magic immunity, or maybe he did. Maybe he thought that sandstorm just for some reason or another does not deal magic damage. I don't know what was up with that. That was kind of a weird play to say the least. We do have a sentry up in top, so that's going to impede Bounty Hunter's ability to farm much more, because really what allows him to farm pretty much entirely is his ability to be invis, and I totally just missed the kill with Razor on the silencer. That is my bad. I am so sorry. That's the thing I will say about the Radiant team. Middle lane was kind of a no-win situation because they did not pick any heroes who really thrive in middle lane. Silencer could, oh shoot, stun comes down on the Bounty Hunter, and with that sentry, I think he's dead without a doubt. Of course, with Disruptor's good old kinetic field, there's no way to go ahead and walk out on that. Really strong top lane comp right there, because really, all that you need to do to go ahead and hold a guy down for at least like 3 seconds, I would say, is, no, probably at least 5, is land Sven's stun, because number one, it's a really powerful stun to begin with. Its stun duration being 2 seconds, which actually is pretty freaking strong in the early game. Sucks that it doesn't scale though, but really strong. It would actually be without doubt OP if it could scale, because it deals radius stun, or kind of like splash stun, I suppose I should say. But really, all you need to do is land that, because then Jakiro's stun, his ice path, is super easy to hit, as long as you're not doing anything foolish. Of course, the Disruptor's kinetic field is even easier. So, they're basically trapped for good in that whole situation right there. Gotta do a better job of clicking on heroes and seeing how their farm is. Razor is coming in hard on the Silencer. Silencer has not reached level 6. Unfortunately, even if he did, though, his ult would not be much of anything to save him. And the Razor's going down, too! I actually thought the Razor might have ended up going down first. Lucky for him, he did end up getting the kill. Not the best, though. Here comes down another smoke down on the Jakiro and the Disruptor, of course. Going to try to surprise this tri-lane down here. All they have, in addition to that, though, is the Tidehunter, and he doesn't even have enough mana for an Anchor Smash. So, I don't really think they have enough. Oh, okay, here comes a TP. That's gonna help them a lot. It is the Razor, of course, once again. They got the Naga Siren stuck in and the Bane on top. Down with the Jakiro stun. Jakiro's stun was a little bit improperly timed, though, because didn't really prevent, there goes the Bane, and he's out of there. Didn't really add anything to the Disruptor's kinetic field, just kind of stunned him at the very end of it, but didn't matter. They got the kill on the Naga Siren as well. How's the Naga Siren doing for farm? That's something I should be keeping a better eye. Of course, the Naga Siren is actually top of the board in regards to last hits and denies. So it is very, very important for them to go ahead and knock her down, because if she starts getting a lot of the monies early on, then she is going to be very, 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 very frightening to deal with. And there goes the Sven. Sucks to be him. That's actually going to do a hell of a lot for the Bounty Hunter, especially since he, of course, did get his track down on the Sven. I think any lead that the oh, just from that alone, to be completely honest, I would probably say that any lead that the Sven had in gold is probably lost. In fact, let's actually go ahead and check the net worth on the board. Yeah, yep, Bounty Hunter has actually jumped ahead of the Sven. Of course, net worth early on is something that is hard to count to some degree, because actually, I believe it's wards and maybe even the courier gold actually does not go into what is considered for net worth. It's more non-utility items, I should say. But actually, non-utility items is kind of a bad way to word that, because a lot of items are utility for other reasons rather than like ward site coverage and stuff like that. Like a Yule Scepter, I would definitely call a utility item. But, that does indeed go into the net worth. But, let's go ahead and go back to the last hits to Naz and all of that jazz. We do have a Silencer ult going down. It's not really gonna be used on much of anything rather than the, Razor, but that actually, I think, definitely was worth it as well, because if it helped them get the kill with the track gold on, that's going to be very, very, very important for them, especially seeing as the Silencer, actually is doing relatively okay for himself. The Razor, I think, is definitely ahead. Although they are probably about even in items, I would say. I'm not sure exactly. But, I think they actually are much more even than I thought they were, for start. Unfortunately, poor little Carl here does not have much of anything, but he's got more than the Bane does. But you know, that's what happens when you're in a tri-lane, so it makes an awful lot of sense. Track is going down on the Tidehunter, but that probably isn't going to do much of anything. I've talked about Track a lot, and I know that actually a lot of you that follow the channel aren't necessarily Dota 2 aficionados, so I might as well actually tell you what that does. It gives you true, yeah, it is true sight, 100%, correct? I really should know if it's true sight, but let me see. Track's name, yeah, true sight. Okay, so that means as long as track it lasts on the hero, and it does have a duration of 30 seconds. Oh, there goes the Jakiro. Tidehunter's Ravage was just a second too late to be able to save his friend, and he goes in super heavy. I don't know what was up with that. Best case scenario, he would have taken the Sand King, but then also died along with him. So I don't know why the Tidehunter went in there. He really should just booked it, to say the least. Sven has transitioned into the jungle temporarily. Of course, he probably isn't going to be there for very long. Just go ahead and saving up for his next item. Probably going to be a Drum of Endurance. If he is going to spend a lot of time in the jungle, though, I would prefer for him to actually jump straight onto a Mask of Madness, because that's gonna help him with the good old attack speed, and then that's also going to give him more survivability in regards to farming in the jungle and all that. So Razor is going to get a regen room, didn't need it, but he does have a bottle. Okay, so that completely changes that. Nagasarn puts down her ult. She got super lucky there. I think she probably had 10, 11 health before I clicked on her. If the plasma field actually did, was strong enough to kill her, she would have been dead meat there. They were like super close to being able to, get a potential kill on the courier. I don't know what's up with Razor here. Razor is going like super ham, and he is almost certainly going to pay his life for it. Kind of a strange Nightmare choice right there, because of course, how Nightmare works is that it does put the enemy in a stasis, but the next person who attacks that enemy will be swapped into the stasis as well. So, very odd choice, especially since he kind of canceled Sand King's Burrow Strike a little bit there along with that. Literally 5. Yeah, that was a little bit crazy. They did not need to send 5 heroes down at him. Kind of a waste of money for TP scrolls and also what you could be getting in the lane. But I guess they really want to kill that Razor, to say the least. So Tidehunter, he's doing pretty okay. He's actually doing pretty good for himself. He's got his arcane boots and working his way a bit towards that blink dagger, because I'm imagining the blink dagger is, of course, what is going to come down next. Razor's coming in super hard. There goes the Bane. He just explodes with that plasma field and Gush, of course. How could I forget Gush? It's a one-word name for an ability. That shows what, that is one big reason why I'm anything but the best caster in the world. Anything but even a mediocre caster in the world. Whoa, use Ravage, buddy. Oh, he was too late. Oh, he casted Ravage, but the animation was too long. He wasn't able to save himself, and then the Jakiro goes down too. That is a bad old situation for the Dire team. Man, I actually thought that initiation was gonna go pretty well for themselves, but basically, I think they lost due to really bad communication, because they did not really fight as a team there, despite being the group that has 4 out of 5 in a call, almost certainly. But then again, Razor is also the one who does not have the clan name in his description, and I think he actually was the one who was going in the most ham and the least coordinated with everyone else. So, he might have been the problem, might not have been. So, of course, Dire Team is the winning in towers for sure, which is going to give their team a hell of a lot of gold. But Radiant is actually still in the lead, and I think a lot of the team fights and, of course, the use of having Bounty Hunter on the team is the 2 main contributors to that. Because Bounty Hunter's ability to go ahead and gather the team gold is just way too strong. Like at level 1, how much extra gold is that? Yeah, 200 gold for self and 50 for allies, and really, every piece of gold counts, and oh, there goes down the 3rd tower for the Dire team. Just to go ahead and check. Okay, that doesn't really lower it yet, but it does start tipping the big old mountain that's working its way up there. Radiant team is going in quite hard on the Dire though. Sand King, despite using his ult, basically melts, and Tidehunter gets down to Ravage, allowing them to take down basically pretty much the entire Radiant team. That was kind of a weird engagement. I don't know. I mean, of course, no one on the Radiant side has a Blink Dagger, and the only one who would really utilize it is a Sand King, so it's not like they could have done much of anything else. But whenever I see an engagement that involves basically walking around trees to kind of gank your enemy from behind, and that's a whole team doing so, I kind of get a really bad feeling in my stomach, like a feeling where I'm like, oh god, well this is doomed for failure almost certainly. So of course, Ben does have his Morbid Mask coming up. I don't know if he is planning on upgrading that to a Mask of Madness or anything else anytime soon. Is Mask of Madness the right one actually? I feel like I'm saying the wrong one. No, it is Mask of Madness. Okay, cool. I just want to double check that and make sure that I wasn't making a big old fool, crazy fool of myself or anything like that. I want to see, wow, Tidehunter is actually pretty low on the last hit board, being right smack in the middle, and well, I think he has been doing a pretty good job of getting farm in general. I wish he was a bit higher on the board, especially since the fact that he was in a tri-lane is of course sucky for him and for his gold. But whenever you start maxing out Anchor Smash, at least whenever I play Tide, I try to get as much gold as I can, because granted, he wasn't in top lane, so it wasn't like he was able to utilize his own farm. And against the tri-lane, going into their farm is very, very, very dangerous. But still, I wish he could be a little bit higher than he is right now, because really, getting the Gush, the series of levels in Gush early on is very, very powerful. So if you do go for the Anchor Smash instead, you really, really, really gotta get that extra farm that's actually gonna make it count. Which I don't think he hasn't done, but I just wish he was a bit higher than he is right now, to say the least. But then again, actually, it's only 16 minutes in the game, so I do need to go ahead and consider all that stuff. 16 minute on a Blink Dagger against a tri-lane, and actually a relatively aggressive one is, actually, no, those are 2 melee heroes in bot and only 1 ranged. So not really the most aggressive tri-lane in the world, but there were 2, there was 1 stun and 1 snare, so I don't know. There's too many contributing factors for me to decide. Maybe you guys could go ahead and tell me in the comments, be like, yo, Egg, this is how things are playing out. This is the way of the game. Razor does have his mechanism. He actually might have gotten that a while ago. There is, of course, though, a Dust of Appearance on him. Was he the one carrying the actual, oh, that is a dead bounty hunter for sure, because they have sight on him, to say the least. And if their sights ran out, Razor came in on time to be able to use the Dust of Appearance. Shows the power of Sentry Wards. Personally, and I think this actually is a huge mistake in my play, I tend to value Dust of Appearance over Sentry Wards. Oh, there goes in the Naga Siren with her song. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to amount to much, because the team did come, oh, especially with the Ravage coming down. There goes stun on the Tidehunter, but it's not enough. Down goes the Naga Siren and the Sand King, and last but not least, the Bane. Man, this dire team is really turning things around. And then, of course, with Disruptor's W, his Glimpse, he was actually able to bring that Silencer back for a complete team wipe, because they did kill the Bounty Hunter a bit earlier. That has got to put the gold counts way... Really? Ah, that's a little bit... Is Sven gonna die? Oh! Pro Urn of Shadows right there. Really, actually not all that pro, but good Urn of Shadows, to say the least, because Sven was probably gonna die from that tower shot. He might have been able to make it. I don't know why he blinked back in. He seriously risked his life. Oh, no! Oh, no! The bounce on the shuriken goes off and the bounty hunter dies because of it. That is really, really silly. That's why he should have gone out of there. I don't know why he went in with like 5% health. That was very, very foolish. And bounty hunter, oh, the glimpse pulls him back, so he's not going to be able to take down the disruptor. Really shows the power of the glimpse so much. That's the thing. For anyone who, oh, that's the button. There we go. Look at him ride the dragon. The Fairy Dragon Ultimate. Cool skin. That is honestly maybe even one of my favorite skins in the game. I love that thing so freaking much. Razor is stealing the farm for the Radiant team, which sucks to be them, to say the least. Oh, there's a Satyr. There's a Satyr Tormentor. Take it, Razor. Oh, I understand killing the Silencer. And if you do get the Silencer, it's obviously going to be much more worth it, which he almost certainly is. Stealing damage from... Wow. Never mind. Silencer OP. I thought for sure the Razor was gonna win that, but then again, he did have the Orchid Malevolence, so any decreased damage that the Razor was able to reduce by using his Link would have been completely countered by the Orchid Malevolence because of the amplified damage. So really unexpected, at least in my opinion. But then again, the Silencer is actually pretty well off for himself right now. Is thanks to no, they just lost to those last couple of fights and the Dire team won. Never mind. I'm a silly Billy Papa Chili. I forget things way too fast. I'm already working myself to Alzheimer's, getting super forgetful and super crazy banana pants. Okay, but actually I should go ahead and finish. I should go ahead and actually finish what I was saying about Bounty Hunter's ultimate track. The super nice thing about it is it not only gives True Sight for those 30 seconds and the extra gold, but actually it gives vision of the Tidehunter no matter where he is on the board. So if the Radiant team, say, had like no ward coverage right here in the enemy jungle, and Tidehunter was chilling right here, I totally missed that, I apologize, then the Radiant team still would be able to see him. Razor goes ahead and grabs him, and he does get the kill on the Sand King, so actually I guess it totally was worth it to go for that thing. Nice of Silencer to go ahead and grab that one last hit on that little tiger there. I think this might be the end for the Razor. There's 2 silences down on him. Luckily, he is actually able to get away. Razor is so freaking fast with his slow proc that happens on the enemy team when you use spells on him. And down goes the Radiant team once more. Tidehunter has been really on point with a lot of his ravages in this game, and I think actually that should go to show how well he was actually doing for himself with farm instead, because he was able to get the Blink Dagger early enough for it to count, to say the least, and make a very big impact on the enemy team. But to counter that, of course, Naga Siren does actually have a Radiance. I haven't really been following her nearly as much as I should in this game. With all the rest of those items and 1,000 gold to boot at this current moment. Excuse me, this current moment. So she's pretty well off. And I gotta say, when it comes to late game potential, it's kind of hard to tell because Sven is so freaking strong late game, but I think the Radiant team have it down. As long as they could keep the Bounty Hunter alive, he actually probably packs just as much power as the Sven. He doesn't pack as much over a wider radiance, and of course that's what's nice about Sven with his great cleave. But Bounty Hunter really packs a mighty punch late game, especially with his medallion. So he's able to go ahead and reduce the armor of his almighty and powerful opponents. Or I guess once he's used the medallion, foolish, weak, and very sorry and I don't know, dead opponents in most cases. But beyond those two, Naga Siren is so freaking good, especially with her obvious combo of Radiance along with Song. It's so freaking nice. So I think if this game goes late, the Radiant team are going to have the advantage. There goes the Silencer. There's no way he's surviving that with all the stunts and the Disruptor, Old Silence. Sand King is, yeah, he's gonna go down. Even if he used his it's his W, right? Yeah. His, Sandstorm to go ahead and hide. The, Jakiro Macro Fire would have easily taken him down because he would have been sitting right on in that thing. And while I actually have mixed feelings about Macro Fire, because I feel like it either does all the damage in the world or none at all, if you do get stuck standing in it for a while, you're gonna take damage no matter what, and it's gonna be a lot of damage. That's what I mean to say. So Silencer is down for 11 seconds. Even if he is not able to be in here for a fight, he actually may be able to contribute. But he should be able to get there before the tower falls. Regardless of that, the Naga Siren is not there. She does have TP boots on her, but she actually, they are indeed on cooldown. So I think this tower is going to be lost. They're going to have to go ahead and attempt to defend third tier tower along with barracks. I think Nagasiren will definitely want to come back for that. Or the tower team actually might just go ahead and take their advantage and run, which I think is very, very smart on their part. Go with the gold advantage that they have and then leave. Man, XP differences is not horribly far ahead in regards to the Dire's favor, but it is nicely in their favor. Gold is relatively balanced, which makes me happy because I really like balanced games, and I think this one has been quite balanced, to say the least. Nice to see. Oh, he does have Disruptor. Actually, does have the mini stun with his Q. Nothing is really going to come of that, though. He's actually just going to go ahead and go for a lane clear instead. And Nagasiren, of course, got out well and early, so she doesn't need to worry about that. Nice! Tidehunter is working his way up to his refresher orb. Once he gets that with the pretty solid ravages that guy has been throwing down this game. He is gonna be forced to be reckoned with, to say the least. So there's the Mask of Madness. I was wondering when that thing would come down. And of course the BKB on top of that. So Sven is starting to get very, 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 very scary. Meanwhile, the Racer does actually have his Acronym Scepter, so he's pretty good for himself. Chikiro doesn't have nearly as much as I would want him to, but that's the role of that's the sad role of a Chikiro, because he is not a hero that is easy to farm with. Because really the only thing that helps him farm, at least early on, is of course Liquid Fire, but of course that's much, much more meant for taking down the towers. There goes the Ravage, down with no, that wasn't Silencer ult, he just silenced the Razor for sure. And Razor has to actually back out. Anchor Smash is gonna take down the Bane, and with the Gush, the Silencer is really, really slowed, so of course the Blink Daggers are gonna be very close to cooldown, but that's not gonna really provide them much of anything. They actually do get the Naga back in, though, with the Glimpse. I'm pretty sure I actually missed that. And, no, Sand King's gonna be okay. I thought he might have been a bit at risk there. Yeah, Sven actually did have a Storm Hammer, but didn't really provide much of anything. They don't seem to have any Invis Tech on them right now. So they aren't really going to be able to jump on that Bounty Hunter. So, oh no! Disruptor had a Sentry. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't place that. They totally could have gotten the Bounty Hunter there with all their stuns. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Sven still had Storm Hammer mana before then, because the Silencer wasn't back. He couldn't have deprived him of mana. And I'm pretty sure Sven didn't use Storm Hammer, but I might be wrong. Bane and Chikiro are in a similar place of not really having much of anything, but like I said, similar to Bane, similar with Chikiro, neither of them are going to be able to farm all that easily, to say the least. Bounty Hunter is pretty good for himself. And where is Nagasiren? I already checked, but actually has upgraded to her Yasha, so that's good for her. Of course, working our way to Manta Style? Is that what that thing is called? Oh man, apparently I really need to brush up my names. Yeah, Manta Style. Apparently I need to brush up my security on naming all the items in Dota 2. This is definitely the thing that I think is nicer for the Dire team right now. The Dire team has much better items on their supports, like the Disruptor. Really, his items don't cost all that much, seeing as it's only a 4-staff and an Urn of Shadows. But altogether, that is still more than what the Bane and the Sand King have right at this time. In fact, the Sand King still hasn't finished his Blink Dagger, and we're almost at 30 minutes into the game, so that's kinda really shameful, to say the least. Chikiro has the lowest last hits on the board, but I think we can actually get rid of that for sure. That's something that I totally should have removed. How is the kills and death ratio, actually? Wow, yeah. Both supports on the Radiant team are the ones with pretty much very little going for them. At least Disruptor has 14 assists, while both both Sand King and Bane have either an equal amount of deaths as assists or more deaths than assists. Smart of the Naga Siren to start sending rewards into the enemy jungle so they could go ahead and start abusing that, or making sure that the Dire team is not able to utilize their jungle to the advantage. Unfortunately, it did not really work out all that much to them, seeing as they didn't farm in the jungle then at all. Might as well have just gone their own jungle, but of course they don't want to do that because they want their own team to farm. So still, it's good, of course. Song goes down on the Razor, but I actually think he was actually able to take down the Silencer first. I actually totally missed that, so that's my bad. And the Naga actually had to teleport out, so that's a pretty unfortunate predicament for the Radiant team, because going in 1v2, but having a couple of friends in the jungle kind of really sucks to have to throw down the Naga ultimate along with the a death on your team as well. And I gotta say, Naga Siren's ult, it's not the worst longest cooldown in the game, of course, especially for how good it is. But it is something that is not supposed to be ignored. I mean, no, it shouldn't be ignored how long it is. So for a death on top of that, and also having to TP out, that's really, really sucky. Of course, that's better than losing the Naga Siren as well. So it's good that that went down if it kept her alive, but really, really unfortunate. Bane is actually able to get out despite the, Disruptor Silence. Too bad he didn't get the kinetic field up as well. I always actually prefer throwing down the kinetic field first, but probably isn't the smartest way to handle that. I wonder if, this Disruptor actually is going to work his way towards... Oh, there goes Sven! Being the total badass that he is, TPing and, just wrecking dudes in the face. But I hope that Disruptor goes ahead and gets an Aghanim Scepter, because I really love Aghanim Scepter on that hero. It is so freaking strong. I want to remind myself just to make sure I don't get it wrong. Oh, I can't. Can I see via that? No, it just says upgradable by Aghanim Scepter. Well, that's silly. I want to see what. I just want to double check to make sure what it does. Whatever. I'm 90% sure that what Disruptor's ult with Aghanim Scepter does is that it not only silences enemies that are within the radius, but it also prevents them from using items, which is really freaking strong. Especially against actually some of the members on this enemy team, like the medallion on that bounty hunter is super, super good. Actually, to be completely honest, not much else matters. Maybe the Mantis style would be good, and maybe the Boots of Travel, but really if you get them inside Disruptor ult with Kinetic Field, they're probably sure to die. So there goes Fen, knocking down either the Sand King and the Bane, and almost getting the Naga Siren, and she actually does indeed go down. Bounty Hunter's in trouble as well. They do actually take down the Sven though, which is good on them. Jakiro died earlier. And down goes, like, people all over the place. Bounty Hunter and, of course, the doo-doo-doos. I'm doing a really bad job of keeping track of things, to say the least. There goes Razor. He gets to feel free to just walk away, as he always does. That's another reason why Razor is one of my least favorite heroes. He has the damage steal, but his slows are just so freaking powerful. They actually might even be stronger than the slow passive that Viper has, but I'm not entirely sure about that. I need to check Viper as well. Slow duration 2. Bonus. Oh, it does also give him bonus speed? I forgot about that. Any target ability. Oh, but that's a permanent one. Okay. What's the slow amount though? Just says the duration. Gives him yeah, just says the duration. That's weird. I wish that said how powerful the slow is, because it is a really, really strong slow, to say the least. Bane is starting to work his way probably to an Aghanim Scepter. I'm not entirely sure about that though. Sand King got an urn. I wonder if that's a miscommunication or something, because At number 1, 35 minutes arcane boots and earn, especially on a Sand King. Sand King can farm for himself relatively well, at least compared to most other supports in the game. That is pretty awful. And then on top of that, especially with a bounty hunter on the team who's gotten some pretty early tracks. I don't know, I forget, is it, okay, here we go. Dire team is going down on the, on poor little Roshan, and it actually does look like Bounty Hunter is going to be able to notice this. He's gonna take down the Disruptor! No, Disruptor's gonna walk away! BKB allowed the Bounty Hunter to go ahead and walk right on out of that thing, and there goes the Naga Siren with her ult. Roshan's just gonna be chilling in there. Oh, Tidehunter gets 1 Ravage off before dying. Did he have? Okay, Refresh Orb was actually not on cooldown, and then Sven is gonna come in to kind of clean up house. Oh, Bounty Hunter, he's not gonna really result in anything. I say he should just get out or deny himself to creeps, but he does have Silencer there to assist him. Silencer might be, he's gonna take down Razor. Oh, man. Good work on you, buddy. Good work on you. And Sven is going to back out. I'm thinking Sven probably can. Yeah, Sven can handle the Silencer without a doubt, especially with the stun going down. Oh my God. Okay, that was a bit closer. Oh! He wasn't able to use an ability, I think it is. Which one? Silencer is another hero who I don't play enough. Enhances target damaging and silencing them if they cast a spell. Okay, maybe he actually did cast a spell and that's what killed him. Either that, causing enemy hero to take damage and lose mana until they cast a spell. It was either that or Curse of the Silent. I'm not sure which one went down. I think it was Last Word though, and I think the Sven might have used his war cry to try to run away. That's really sucky if that's what happened, but I'm not entirely sure. It might have been the other move. Excuse me as I drinketh from the cup of life, because as I'm sure you guys can imagine, my throat is getting a wee bit sore. Hopefully this game is gonna end sometime before too long. Wow. Hopefully this just happened while I was drinking, and I apologize if it did, but bottom racks got taken down. Not really sure when that went down, and with, not really sure when that happened. Oh god, I'm so bad at casting, but I love doing it, and I want to get better, so that's why I'm doing it right here. Dire team is almost certainly going to get Roshan right here, but oh no, actually, I thought that Radiant for a second there was aware, but they totally aren't. They have no idea what's going on, so that's a free Rosh for the Dire. Goes on the Sven. He's basically going to be unstoppable while he has that thing, unless of course the Radiant team does some really good stuff. Really, actually, with the Bane and the Naga Siren, between them, they could hold down the Sven for a while, and I think it actually will certainly be a very good thing to hold that man down. Of course, with the Naga Siren though, you can't attack your enemy team, so it's not really gonna help with regards to the Sven. I don't know. Honestly, in my opinion, one of the scariest heroes in the entire game to see that Aegis of the Immortals on is Sven, because once it gets to the late game and it gets that thing, he is so freaking strong. He certainly isn't the scariest with an Aegis, but very frightening to say the least. So, Bounty Hunter does have his Basher. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have anything to boost his attack speed, and I'm not sure, or substantially boosted, and I don't think he's going to go for anything to do it. But he actually does, of course, have some nice attribute bonuses due to his Medallion of Courage. Looks like their team is maybe gonna take down these racks. I was actually gonna say definitely, but the Naga Siren actually definitely did save it. Oh, and there goes down the channel snare on the Tidehunter, which actually canceled his Ravage, but he does actually throw it down. He's got his second one ready to go, doesn't have enough mana for it. Sven is eliminated, but only temporarily, and it's just the Naga Siren against the world. And without her ult and a stun down her, Sven can probably kill her? No. He's not gonna go in for her, even with the blink. I would have gone in with that if that was him. They don't have anyone else alive. Maybe that would have been foolish, especially since actually the Naga Siren is pretty freaking beefy right now, to say the least. Especially seeing as she does have a Reaver, so she's got a hell of a lot going for her at this point in the game, which is really sad because I think both of these teams actually have been doing very, very well for themselves. I think one of the biggest faults on the Radiant team for sure is having two supports who aren't really able to farm for themselves at all, because Disruptor has a lot of... Really? He's going for Force Staff and Blink Dagger. I would have gone for like a Yule's or a Sheep Stick, but... Actually, no, well, utility on Disruptor is so freaking strong, though. You know what? It would not surprise me if Blink Dagger Force Staff is a bear pick specifically for that utility ability. Because if you can actually force someone else into a kinetic field that you have existing, that's so good. Blink Dagger allows you to get down those easy kinetic fields along with your ults to make sure that the team fights get like the max amount of people you possibly can into them. So actually, it wouldn't surprise me at all if that actually is the much smarter pick. Let's go ahead and see what he buys right here, because I'm a bit interested what he upgrades to. He's probably never going to get upgraded boots. It would not surprise me if this game actually does finish off before he does buy anything, because I think the only thing that he would want to get, especially seeing as we are at 40 minutes into the game, would be TP boots, and that would be a last pick, a last item pick on Disruptor for sure, because he needs he needs the other utility items to make sure that his very, very utility-based abilities are made even stronger. Meanwhile, Tidehunter is doing a good job of getting himself some nice farm while he waits for his refresher word to start building back up. Building up his Shiva's Guard with the plate mail. It's gotta be a Shiva's Guard. And I was gonna say, like, would it be anything else? But no, it's a Shiva's Guard. Meanwhile, on the Jakiro, oh, okay, he got a Rod of Atos as well. I prefer to start with the Eul Scepter on him. I'm sad that no one's picking up Eul Scepters in this game. I've been like talking about Eul Scepter left, right, and center because it's a really good item. I really, really like Eul Scepter. But then again, I don't think this is necessarily the best team to use it against. The only person who I would really, really enjoy seeing Eul Scepter against would probably be mainly either the Sven or the Tidehunter. Tides to avoid the Ravage as long as you can while taking out everyone else, or the Sven just to go ahead and keep him out of the fight because he packs such a serious freaking punch. And then what's going on with everyone else? This is Sand King. There's not much else. I really, really hate this pick of the Urn of Shadows. Wow, Razor is killing himself. That was really unnecessary. I don't know what happened there. Once again, he is the player who does not appear to be part of the clan for the Dire team. It doesn't seem to be part of the NXTZ.co grouping association plan of the man that you demand. Use your force. Oh wait, that's Disruptor. Never mind. Yeah, Jakiro actually does not have any escape method whatsoever beyond slowing his opponent, which isn't really the best escape, to say the least. Disruptor actually probably should have used the Force Staff on Jakiro, though, to help him run, but, you know, he TP'd out a while ago, so. What was I just talking about? Man it? I meant to say damn it. What is wrong with my mind right now? But anyways, of course, talking about the situation that's going on for the Radiant team, I'm pretty sure, wow, gold is still very balanced. That really surprises me. That really surprises me how even the gold income has been for both teams. I mean, it makes sense because the Dire has been winning team fights as of late, but then they also have Bounty Hunter on the Radiant team. But of course, actually, now that I mentioned that, you really only get the Bounty Hunter extra gold if the track kills come down. So you need that to happen for that extra gold. Meanwhile, XP is significantly in favor of the Dire. It's not quite down to 10,000, but it's close. And of course, once you get near the 10,000 mark, you're in a wee bit of a pickle. A wee bit of a pickle. Wee. Okay. Okay, once again, recently watched the movie, Deliverance. Saw the movie way too recently because I'm gonna be referencing that thing all over the place. That movie was amazing! That's all I have to say. Now I'm done. Peace, yo! End of video, goodbye. Hi guys, welcome back to Let's Play, Casting Dota 2 Amazing Marathon. Down goes the Ravage. Only really stuns the Bane, but that Bane sure got basically all hell broken loose on him. I didn't quite. Oh, Sand King comes down with his ult. He is able to take down both the Disruptor and the Tide Hunter through that, but did not really matter for much of anything. All of the Dire lanes are pushing, and of course that's more significant for the ones that have had the barracks taken down, and Dire got the tower, so it's gonna be easy peasy lemon squeezy for them to go ahead and take down these racks. So, of course, a game is never over until it's over, but I got a feeling this game might be over. Basically, what the Radiant team needs is one really good team fight, followed up by a push down one of the enemy team lanes, probably top, seeing as they wouldn't have to push through an extra tower, and actually they wouldn't be fighting against super creeps. So top would definitely be the best. They would need to push down that Rax and then push to win. Oh, that's a Venomancer thing. He looks so messed up, if you're wondering. If you poison us, do we not die? What the hell does that even mean? If you guys want to know why this skin is like so freaking messed up right here, you can see it right there. I actually have a mod that turns Venomancer back into his original face, but it kind of messes up the rest of his model, to say the least. What's going on right here? Then, I'm blind, not deaf. Nice, that's for anti-mage. I like that. Oh, he's got the Bane mask, too. I love the Bane mask. Nice to see that apparently those match whatever, skins the enemies were using, or whatevs. So, Nagasaran is doing a good job of pushing bot, especially since he's actually not really being contested. Oh, there goes down the song once again, just to TP out. That's really unfortunate. What is the cooldown now in song? Oh, okay, 50 seconds. Never mind. And see, Nagasaran is another character who I need to play more. Actually, I think I've only played Nagasaran like once or twice. I've played a lot of games of Dota, but I have like a couple of characters that I like to play the most, and then every now and then I like to random on top of that, and I never really have gone Nagasiren draws, so really haven't had much time experimenting with her for that. So actually, you know what? Forget anything I say in the late game about Nagasiren making bad choices by using her song, because 50-second cooldown is pretty dang short in this game, to be completely honest. So, if you use it to, save your life, 100% worth it. So, Roshan goes down again. There seems to be a little bit of a miscommunication in regards to who's gonna get the Aegis. Looks like it's actually going down on the Razor. I would have preferred the Sven, but makes sense. Like, what would he want to get rid of? Blink Dagger? Hell no. Mask of Madness would honestly probably be my choice. I mean, then he loses his regen, but he's kind of at the point in the game Where number one, if he had the Aegis, the regen wouldn't be as necessary because he's got a second life. And then on top of that, he's at the point where he's gonna be mainly focusing on basically wiping the enemy team within seconds time. So, I would prefer the Aegis on him, but we'll go ahead and see how things go down on here. There goes, big ol' stunts on the Sven. He actually is wiped super early, and he is so significant for the damage. They really should have removed that Mask of Madness and giving the Aegis for him, because Radiant team are dominating this fight, and I think having 2 Svens would have done a hell of a lot to change that. Jakiro might be able to get out okay. Disruptor's gonna get out okay without a doubt. He is tracked, but no one's gonna be able to follow him for that. We actually had a buyback on the Sven, which I probably would have saved it, especially since there isn't really much of a point. And really, everything considered, the Dire team still won that fight. They still won completely because Radiant wasn't able to push any advantages from the fight going down. And Dire got melee racks. That's 3 lanes with super melee creeps. That is really hard to contest. Really, really hard. I mean, of course it's not mega creeps, but it's still really, really bad. So I'm kind of still of mind that it's only gonna be a matter of time till the Radiant team ends up biting the dust here, especially with one of their final 2 towers really, really low. Building no inscription. What a big old ding dong, whoever built that one. And then what do we have right here? Shadow Fiends, the whistling. I am the whistling. Brr, brr. I have no idea what it means by the whistling, but, you know, whatever they have to say. Oh, it's created by the Whistling Man, so that's just his, like, gimmick, I guess. Interesting. Who's the Whistling Man? Who's the Whistling Man? Bounty Hunter is, the Whistling Man. There we go. Oh, man. TP out on the Bounty Hunter, and super good to do it then, because he would have been dead meat if he tried to walk his way back. Although, actually, it is a bounty hunter, so he does have the invis. So, as long as he knew they were there and they don't have a gem, he actually would have been perfectly a-okay. Down goes the Jakiro. I gotta say, the Radiant team are doing a really, really good job of fighting the enemies off. But if they can't get good... Oh, Disruptor's dead. Disruptor's dead. He's got the TP, but he can't use that anymore. Oh my god, he's gonna make it! He made it! He made it! He made it with only like 10 HP or something. Okay, and now the Sven's gonna die too, unless the Tidehunter can come in with a super pro Ravage, even though it wasn't all that amazing. And there goes the Naga Siren. But it was a good Ravage, nonetheless, of course. Sven TPing back to base. Disruptor still wants to chill. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. He's playing it smart. He's playing it safe. Radiant team are doing what I thought they should, and they're going to go ahead and start pushing top and push it as hard as they can. Probably should have SK top as well. With the Naga Siren, with the Naga Siren illusions, they're gonna be enough to go ahead and defend mid. So I think Sand King should leave. I think Naga Siren can handle this on her own. I think it's a very, very poor choice for Sand King to be chilling here. Still doesn't have his Blink Dagger. He wants to go for a Scepter, an Aghanim Scepter, rather than the Aegis at the, Blink Dagger at this point, which I don't think is awful. Bane goes for BK. Oh, of course he would go for BKB, duh. I don't know why I thought he was going for, Aghanims. I'm pretty sure Aghanims isn't even all that good on Bane. So of course the Black King bars makes much more sense, seeing us to keep him in that Fiend script for as long as possible and maintain control over 2 enemies at once, because that is going to be so big for the team fights. Now the Sand King being back home is a bit more important, that the Nogsarin has actually transitioned into the jungle instead for her defending and all that jazz. Really wish the Sand King went with different items. Like, I don't like this build. I don't like this build. I think Sand King is, like, maybe even, in all honesty, more than Tidehunter, a Blink Dagger hero. Because the thing about Tidehunter, it's better to have a Blink Dagger without a doubt, because then you get the extra positioning capabilities and all that are so freaking important when using Ravage. Oh, and he's got a Refresher up. I foresee super big Ravages going down in just in uno momento. But continuing what I was saying, the thing about Ravage is you can, especially since Tidehunter is so tanky with his Kraken Shell and all, and since he also gets armor items, I'll say this in a bit. Sven is going down super heavy. He actually is eliminated, and but so does the Sand King go down. But the Sven is a much better grab than the Sand King. Naga Siren is coming in with her song, barely accomplishes anything, and Bane dies as well, and there goes the Naga Siren almost certainly. But will the Razor go down as well? Oh no! I think that was a misclick on the Bounty Hunter for sure, and Razor's gonna get out okay. That Shuriken would have for sure taken out the Razor, so I think that actually really was a misclick. Down goes the Ice Path, but isn't gonna stop anything. The Jakiro is dead, but they got their top Rex. That is that's Mega Creeps, and if nothing else, like if not more than before, I'm pretty sure it's GG. But it's never good to call. Look at the melee creeps. I mean, the Mega Creeps and the melee creeps. I love the new design. They look so cool. Oh, the ranged ones don't get an update? No, they do. They get to wear this weird, cool mask. God, I love them. They look so baller. I love the dire ones, too. I personally like the dire ones a bit more than the radiant. But the radiant ones look very fancy schmancy as well. But what was I talking? Oh, yeah. Talking about the Ravage. Well, the Blink Dagger pick for Sand King versus Tidehunter. Since Tidehunter is so tanky in general, you can walk in and Ravage. And if nothing else, if you compare their two ults, you can walk in ult much more successfully with the Tidehunter than you can with the Sand King, because you waste half your ult if you walk in after channeling with him. Even with the Burrow Strike, it's very hard to use the channel for the epicenter into some actual enemies and getting close enough. So I hate this build. I hate this build. I think on Sand King, the Blink Dagger is a must, 100%. And if nothing else, Arcane Boots Urn of Shadows by 35 minutes. Kind of really unfortunate that that player was not able to get more farm. I feel bad since I am actually kind of ripping into poor little. Oh, it's Carl too. I love that name, the simple name, Carl. But I don't understand it. That's all I have to say. Looks like the Terra team is once again focusing on Roshan. I don't entirely know how to read this, but I'm pretty sure there's at least another minute before Roshan comes, because I think the timer needs to at least get to that point before it counts down the final seconds. So these guys got here way early, but then again, they've got Mega Creeps, and they're at a point where not many people on their team need any more farm. I would like to see an additional item on the Disruptor, but it makes sense for him to go ahead and get sentries and observer wards. Basically become late game ward bitch. Jakiro, he finally has his Yule Scepter, so that's super good for him. Sven got rid. What did he get rid of? What was there? What item was there? Oh, I don't remember. I think it was something that I personally liked more than the Mask of Madness, but I really don't remember what it was. Because the BKB, all of that, I don't remember what it is. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Basically, everyone on their team has a lot of farms, so they actually kind of can sit around. They shouldn't, Because they aren't fully farmed. There goes Roshan. They're still waiting. I wonder if they actually, like, went AFK for a second there. That was kind of weird. But seeing as the Radiant team haven't lost yet, they're doing a good job of holding off against these Mega Creeps. They just gave a lot of free farm to the Radiant team, which is not very smart. But honestly, on top of that, the Radiant team is very, very split right now because they have to be split. And there's a DD rune! Oh no! Worst possible rune! Now Sven is unstoppable! This man is unstoppable! Unless they can take him down immediately, he is unstoppable. I gotta say, despite me preferring keeping the Mask of Madness, getting rid of the Mask of Madness instead of the other item, but I don't even remember what it was, so honestly, maybe it wasn't as significant as the Mask of Madness at all. I do think it is a smart play for them to get rid of something to give the Aegis to Sven instead, because Aegis on the Razor in favor of the Sven, not a good choice at all, in my opinion. Too bad that double damage rune pretty much was not really useful at all. But so there goes, the Silencer died before, there goes down Sven's 1 life, Nagasaran goes down, Bane goes down, followed by both, oh no, Bounty Hunter lives, but Sand King and Silencer, no, that was an illusion, never mind. But this is rack, this is game. Even if they were able to kill the remaining heroes, look at all those Mega Creeps. That is GG! Well played all around, in my opinion. I thought that was, for the most part, a balanced game. Towards the end, things, definitely were in the Dyer's favor quite substantially. But I had a lot of fun with that one, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun as well. I always love doing these Dota casts, even though I don't do them all that much. So I hope that, I don't know. I hope you guys are into it as well. Curse you, disconnect from server. Source TV, stop. But anyways, my voice is dead. So I'm going to go ahead and call it off here. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, a comment, and or subscribing if you have not. I am the EggScrambledGamer, and I will see you all next time.